get to the Lakers. I saw you on. I saw you
I got some juice for you.
Okay, good. I saw you on NBA Today, and you guys were trying to figure out what the Lakers are going to do. We were just saying that what makes their decision harder, not easier, harder, is that they went on that ridiculous run in March. And now they're I think they're asking themselves, I think Laker fans are asking themselves, well, if we just bring everybody back, could we compete with OKC and San Antonio? Do you think, and when I say everybody, I'm really talking about 5 guys. I'm talking about LeBron, Austin, Rui, Kennard, and Smart. Do you think all 5 of those guys?
You mean also Luka? Okay.
Well, Luka's locked in.
We don't have to sign Luka.
Yeah, Luka's signed.
Okay, yeah, okay.
All right, but those. Do you expect all 5 of those players to be on the Laker roster when this season starts?
I don't know. I think Kennard is probably back. That's one that he wants to stay. They want him to stay. Rui, I could see back, but depends on what other people throw at him. Smart, I'm not as sure about. That he was good for them, but he's older, injury prone, etc. There could be other younger guys they could get. So that's the one I'm not as sure about. I wouldn't say no, but I wouldn't say it's 100%. Austin, I think he's coming back, and the only question with Austin is are Brooklyn or Detroit or some of the Chicago? I don't think Chicago.
Yeah, I don't think Chicago. Detroit's the one where he would make a ton of sense.
A lot of sense for them. Or is there something else we don't know about? But I think that's going to be a dance all summer until, it depends on how they're just going to have to. He wants to be in LA. It's just a question of how much they're going to pay him, and are they going to make him set his market elsewhere and get an offer from somebody else to establish what his market is, or is he just going to lock in early? But I think the LeBron of it all is very interesting. I know they've had, you're allowed to talk to your own free agents, so they've had some discussions already with LeBron and his agent about that, but I don't think we've even gotten to a numbers stage. I think we're still in a place where we're just staying in touch, and he's still kind of coming to this idea of 100% I want to commit to playing next year. So there's just a few hurdles you got to clear, but I read everything there as he's got to find out what other options he has.
Right.
He's got to figure out who else might want him, what they could pay him before he decides whether it's coming back with the Lakers or not. Like, you don't make a decision until you know the full board. Right? And he doesn't know that yet.
Rich Paul, I guess last week, said there are 10 to 12 teams interested in LeBron. Do you have a sense for who those teams are? Who are the real contenders if LeBron doesn't come back to the Lakers?
Look, for me, it's pretty simple. It's either the Lakers, Cleveland, or Golden State.
Okay.
I would be really surprised if it's not one of those 3. I think there's other teams that would make sense. Like, I could start naming some, but Phoenix would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Denver would make sense. I think there's other squads that would make sense for him, but I just don't see those as realistic. Like, do you think he'll go to like Toronto if they were into Detroit? And I don't see any of those.
No.
But it's Cleveland would make sense to me, and so would the Warriors. People have floated the idea of the Clippers because he could stay in LA. I don't see that as what they're doing at all. They're getting younger. They're turning the roster over. Why would they? I don't know why they would do that. Other than to tweak the Lakers, like literally if they just feel like doing that. But those 3.
Okay, Momo, we're talking to Ramona Shelburne. I came up with what I think is a sellable blueprint to LeBron and Austin. I want you to tell me where it breaks down or if you agree, okay? So the most money that any other team can offer Austin is 4 years, $179, okay?
All right.
The Lakers could offer him 5 years, $241. I think you go to him like the Knicks went to Jalen Brunson and they said, look, we don't want to disrespect you, but we and I know you would be leaving $62 million on the table, but we'll pay you 4 years, $179. That averages out to $44 million a year and change.
It's a lot.
Do you think that gets it done?
Probably. I think that probably would. I think he wants to stay.
Okay.
Right? So, and I think he wants to win. So you got to get him at least what the highest anyone else can pay him, as long as he actually even has that. Here's the thing. I'm gonna phrase.
Oh man, we lost.
No, right in the middle of an unbelievable thought.
Oh, there you are. We got
okay,
you back. Okay, good.
Sorry, you disappeared for a minute.
Stay in your current location.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. I think that it's much easier for LeBron to break up with the Lakers than it is for the Lakers to break up with LeBron. In other words, if another team comes at him with like, hey, we really want you, but all we can pay you is the mid-level, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's all we have. That's not insulting to him because that's all they can. They're giving him the most they can give him. Whereas if the Lakers come to him and say, okay, we'll give you 25 a year, that's insulting to him because he makes 50
Wait a minute,
now.
25 is insulting?
Well, he makes 52 now.
No, I
Okay,
understand,
so Ramona,
but
what I was thinking
You
for
see what
LeBron,
I'm trying to say?
I was thinking for LeBron is you go to him and you give him two choices. Say we'll give you 1 year 25, or we'll give you 2 years 40. You can take either one, and we'll continue to develop Bronny. We promise we won't mess that up.
And we'll bring in
and
Kevin Love.
And if you want to bring Kevin
want.
Love in on a minimum vet, you can. But that's 10. The 25 you just mentioned is $10 million more than anyone else could offer him. He protects Bronny. He gets one of his buddies in there. You don't think that would work?
I think he would see it as a pay cut.
Well,
he's
going to get a pay cut no matter what.
There's ways they can pay him more. Like you can do a
an
sign and trade,
like an aspiration deal, like they did for Kawhi. Can we circumvent the salary cap a little bit?
I wouldn't say it like that. Look, you can do a sign and trade for somebody else who makes a lot of money. Like the one everybody floats out there because it would work for both teams is if you did something for Jared Allen in Cleveland, he makes a lot of money that would get LeBron up to his salary. That's how they could pay him more. But they have his bird rights. They can pay him what they've been paying him. They can pay him as much as he wants. So you know what I mean? Like if somebody says to you, okay, we're still paying you 10 more than anyone else can, but in your mind, you're like, yeah, but you paid me 52 last year. It's a pay cut. And I think that's just harder to swallow.
So you actually believe there's a scenario where LeBron could make $52 million this year, whether it be from the Lakers or someone else?
No, but I think 40. I think he would. I think he would see that as a pay cut. I mean, I'm not speaking for LeBron,
right?
But I've just covered him his whole entire career, and he knows his value. He's never taken 1 cent less than the minimum, except for when he took a tiny little haircut so that Bronny could play. He literally just took enough just so they could pay Bronny.
Right, but that's not true. Wade, Bosch, and LeBron
all took a little less. Yeah,
tiny bit.
Yeah,
like a sliver. It's just,
but Momo, if the number is 40, I don't think the Lakers can afford to be in that game. Not if you're trying to build a roster that can compete with the best of the West.
And also, I can give you what I think you should look for in how they're approaching free agency. Okay.
Okay. Good.
Got it.
Okay. When you look at restricted free agency, there's two names. Okay. There's Jalen Duren and there's Walker Kessler.
Yep.
The Lakers would love to have either of them, but it's restricted free agency. So how do you get someone in restricted free agency? You either make an offer they can't refuse, like the other team just simply cannot pay, which means you're probably overpaying for them.
Right.
Okay. If you're doing Walker Kessler, then maybe you're giving him 35, which is an overpay, but that's the only way you're going to get him and get Utah not to match, right? Okay. If you're Jalen Duren, you're going to push the Pistons to match the max offer, and then you're going to screw up your own cap space because they have 48 hours to match, and yada, yada. Or you do some kind of a sign and trade, which is also like paying a premium for which is also an overpay, and you're giving up an asset, okay? Neither of those are great options. So I think what the Lakers are looking for, my understanding of this, is they're looking for players that are maybe younger, that have high upside, that they believe in. Maybe they can grow into these roles. And I think there's some names out there that may not seem very sexy or exciting to Laker fans, but these are players that would fit in their system, that can grow, that could be available. It's not being cheap. It's being smart in terms of roster building. So like on the center market, Do you go after there's a guy in Toronto, Sandro, I can't say his last name.
Yeah, that guy. I've seen his name come up a lot.
He used to play for the Spurs.
There's a guy like Jalen Smith in Chicago or Isaiah Stewart. Like, can you get somebody like these type of guys who are young? They fit the right salary profile. They fit the right age profile. So where you don't have to get into this restricted free agency stuff.
Yeah, I just don't think restricted free agency is free agency. I mean, you got to tie up your money.
It doesn't work.
And I don't think the Lakers have time to wait. They got to jump. I mean, there are a number: Peyton Watson, Jalen Duren, Terry Eason. Those guys are all restricted. But I just think tying up your money for 48 hours is a big mistake at that time of year.
Hey, Ramona, I know you pretty well. I'm reading between the lines here. Do you think there's less of a chance LeBron comes back to the Lakers than he stays?
No. I think it's the most – okay, like if we were doing a pie, I would say I'd still go 85% he's back with the Lakers, okay? But, I was more like 95 before, okay?
Well, I have him at 50.
Look, every year we hear people – and it's not just LeBron, but it's everybody. People say it's not about the money.
It's always about the money.
Yeah. Always about the money. And I think the Lakers can still pay him the most out of anybody because they have his bird rights. So it's a matter of how much can they pay him, and then how does he digest that number, whatever the number is.
Right.
And I think it's hard because it's a pay cut. And this man is still – you saw what he did in that first round. You saw how good he was still. And then we read Dave McMenamin's story about him being upset about the game ball and I don't feel respected here and I sacrificed for you guys. And so you're asking a guy who already feels some kind of way to now take a pay cut. That's a tough proposition.
Yeah. All right. So we should be prepared for unsexy and unexciting names. That's what I took away from that.
Let me alienate all the Clipper fans, Momo, before you go.
Oh.
Okay.
Any indication? Adam Silver said at the finals he wants this Kawhi investigation wrapped up, and here we are 3 days before the draft, and it's still not wrapped up. What's your sense?
It feels like a mid-August news dump to me.
Wow.
Friday night.
Friday at 5.
Right? Like, if I were, this is not a story the NBA enjoys in any form or fashion. You know what I mean? Like, this is a yuck burger. Well,
it's time to eat the yuck burger. Get off the pot and do something.
Did I just make up a word? Have you ever heard that before?
No, yuck burger. No, but I'm going to run with it, Momo.
We've heard of nothing burgers, so I think this is a yuck burger.
Yuck burger.
It's.
What do you think? Look, by the way, here's my prediction, Momo. It's going to be something like 5 second-round picks. It's going to be a slap on the wrist. Like it's going to sound like it's a punishment, but everybody knows second-round picks hardly ever make it in the NBA, and that's how they make it go away. What do you think?
Well, first of all, we have to establish they did something wrong, and it's just hard because Pablo won a Pulitzer, so the bar, like. They just got to really, if they're going to say that if they're going to prove something wrong, okay, are they going to get him on, the main charge? Are they going to get him on a lesser charge? We can't nail this salary cap circumvention, but we can nail improper conduct or lack of organizational control or, I don't know. I think they're looking for something, and they're going to keep digging until they find enough that looks like something. Or if they clear them, the bar is even higher because of the pressure on this thing.
Okay, Momo, I'm just going to say this: I don't want to live in a world where Pablo Torre has a Pulitzer Prize and Ramona Shelburne does not. When are you getting on this, Momo? You need your Pulitzer.
Oh, all I wanted I just wanted to go to the Emmys. That's all I wanted for my show.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted, one of my guys. I wanted, Ed O'Neill to get nominated or Jackie Weaver.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get dressed up and, glammed up and walk that red carpet. I was going to totally, lose 30 pounds and just, glam it up for the red carpet and do all the silly interviews. That's all I wanted. So I'm going to have to just come up with a new
brand
show.
new. Yeah, it's time to,
Well, you've told me.
What if I told you?
I won't. I won't spoil it, Momo, because you told me these things in confidence. But the other stuff you have ideas to do shows about are all really good.
What if I told you?
Right?
Yeah, very good.
I hope one of them. I hope one of them happens.
All right, hey Momo, great talking to you. Thank you very much. We are going to rely on you a lot, apparently, over the next couple of weeks.
Are you decoding? The my speech right now?
Yes.
John, I could see John working through it.
Yeah, we are.
Send it into Rev or something.
Yeah.
Put it through ChatGPT.
There you go.
All right. Have a great weekend,
Momo.
Momo.
Thank you, Momo. All right. Summer Soccer's here. Rock and Brews, your head